Would you? I wouldn't say would you agree because I thought about this a little bit. Arranged marriages. Do you think that's something that we should champion in our culture? Like how the dad or the mom would already have the person set up, so that way you really don't have the pressure of having to look for somebody. It's already somebody for you. You just got to maintain,
No,
keep yourself up.
No, I don't think so. I think you might need move to the Eastern culture for that. I don't know. I don't know if you have that would fly too well in this Western culture.
Why not?
I mean, if people just, do you think so? You think they would arrange?
I believe if that's all you know, like.
No, I'm saying that's not what all we know.
No. But you're thinking. I mean, people that are already here and submerged in Western culture. No, my kid, I'm already be talking to somebody with
a daughter for your son.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I get to choose how this is gonna go for you. You can't bring your struggle to my door on Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about that one. I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
I mean, I think it work out just fine. I mean, again, you already have somebody, then you ain't gotta go look for anybody.
Okay.
Now, whether y'all stay together, that's on y'all to make that work.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I mean, you might as well try it. What else is working over here? What else working? All you got is single people complaining about why they don't want to get married and how they can't find anybody.
Yeah, well,
if your folks cared about you, they'd have picked somebody for you. So you at least start out with one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but yeah, okay.
Hey, man.
You said give it a shot?
I mean, either that or just keep investing in cat food and dog food. I mean, it's up to you.
So you said marriage, you feel marriage is just not going in a good direction in America. That's what you say.
Ain't nobody, it's few and far in between. People ain't really studying marriage, man. People like the idea of the ceremony. Mm-hmm. And inviting people that they may or may not like to watch it.
So, okay. Why you think?
Think about it. They have a party for the wedding and the divorce. So they have divorce parties too. So it ain't like it's that sacred. You just like a party. That's all you mean to tell everybody. I just like a good party.
Well, yeah, maybe. But a lot of that comes from, I believe, is like you going in there with unrealistic expectations. People don't know what a marriage is supposed to be.
A party. Clearly, they think it's
a
party.
It's
a party. That's what it is.
It's not a party. That may be what they think, but marriage is a covenant. So until and especially in America now, it's really making a marker of what a marriage is. So that don't help any. So, but I mean, I think marriage. I think there's some people that's still getting married and excited about it.
Yeah, they 50. They like, man, before I kick the bucket, I might well,
No, I think the type of family you come from, that may help shape it as well. Most of the time, if you come from a family structure of husband and wife, that's more likely. Not saying that you will, but more likely if you've been in that environment, that's important to you. Mm-hmm. And if not, then it's not important to you. Mm-hmm. But I'm not a marriage professional therapist, so I can only speak from where I'm sitting.
From your corner.
Yeah, but I believe that marriage is and will always be a staple for society. So if you see some of the biggest problems we have now, if you do a study on any like prisons, or if you go do a study on childhood behavior, all these dysfunctions, most of the time, the main factor, that one thing that they all have in common, is fatherless homes. Mm. And that's to go back again to marriage, man. Father, mother, children, in that order. So it's important whether we're looking at it through this natural eye and say it's not working. I think it's not so much that it's the institution as much as it is people's expectations and people's unwillingness to be committed to it. Marriage is a commitment, lifelong, a covenant actually, not unto be broken except by death.
So marriage isn't it's not okay. I'm married now. I can relax. That's not.
Oh no,
okay.
Marriage is when you get to work. Marriage, as my pastor would say, marriage is not for children. It's for grown folk. Yeah, marriage is hard work, man. Ain't let nobody fool you. It ain't a piece of cake. But in that, in saying that is that, as people always say, it's what you make it. So, are you willing to do the work? Anything worth having, you got to work for it and work toward it. You can't be selfish in a marriage. That's one of the biggest things in America. People are so selfish. You can't be selfish and think you're gonna have a good marriage. You can't be selfish. You can't. You got to be willing to be constantly forgiving and talk through things, not pushing things back. A lot of people think, we're gonna compromise. Just be quiet. No, compromise means you sit down, talk it over with your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to be dominant over one another. And in this society, if you use the word submissive, man, then, you get cursed out. Not just by secular women, but Christian women too, because they don't understand.
Well, if they cuss you out, they ain't Christian.
but they don't understand that submission is to be on both parts. So, but submission is not a negative word, but people turn it into that.
They got women who make livings being submissive.
Not like that, but yeah, in the healthy context, it's a choice.
Yeah, it's an occupation.
It's a choice. So yeah, that's what it is. I just think it's just selfishness.
What do you think would make marriage more appealing to people? Because that seems for the majority of people, they see marriage as a like something that's constricting.
Yeah. Yeah, they see. But then again, I go back to see that and how they see marriage. I believe is how they have experienced it or seen it in their families and all of that. Because if you see it as restricting things you can't do, maybe you shouldn't get married right then. And it's really hard to talk about marriage without implementing scripture, because you can't really explain it outside of the I can't really explain it that well outside the context.
This your corner. I won't catch on fire if you start mentioning
No, I'm just saying it's hard to explain it out of the context for me, because if you don't have that mind to understand, marriage is like it symbolizes how Christ loved the church. Christ called the church the bride, and he loves it so much. And a man just have to, as a man, you have to have that kind of love, first of all, for a woman. And like I said, I don't know if it's old school. I'm of the last 70s generation, so so some things people may call it old school, but I don't. I just think there's things that as a man respects or treat a woman is, what can I say, it kind of sets the tone for the marriage.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Even when it keeps being shown that women don't like gentlemen.
Well, those type of women don't.
Oh, you still
real
so
women.
You talking about the women from the late 70s, like you talking about?
No. Well, no, I think there's some young ladies out there, especially if they come from a family where they have a good father in the home. Some of those, they would.
Oh, well, that. Yeah. I mean,
because they've seen it. It's been modeled for them.
Yeah. Shout out to all 28 of y'all. But
I'm just saying. So do you believe they just settling for what they got to choose from?
Who, the dudes?
No, the women.
What you mean? We settling for? Have you been out there? You ain't out
No,
there.
I'm not been out there. I'm 25 years, so I haven't been out there. But he said, you been out there?
Yeah. My fault. Got carried away there for a sec.
He said, you been out there? Oh, yeah, man. I don't know, man. I just, I don't know. It's just
It's a carnival out there now.
it's a carnival.
It's a carnival, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a carnival.
it's just a lot of things have changed, man. So what women expect, I think the dynamics is totally different these days. You got to
Yeah. Guys have standards.
well, you got to navigate between. It's different because women are working. They're what they would say independent, or they're professional. They doing all that. So
Independent.
so what would you? I mean, as a guy, you gotta. I don't know how you would navigate through that. Just I guess if both of you, like I said, you go back to at the beginning of your relationship and set those. If you have standards and non-negotiable. See, sometimes we worry about things that's surface things, but I think if you get down to the core values and you have the same core values, you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Certain things that's non-negotiable. So things like who gonna cook or stuff like that. Now if it's important to you, you don't want to, you don't want to dumb it down on it. But you got to make sure that core values, I think, are the same.
Core values. That sounds like an Italian word these days. Core values. That is.
Well, the things that's non-negotiable, things that what I'm saying. I got some non-negotiables, and it'll be hard to work with that. Somebody totally different, their values and things are way different than yours, and definitely not gonna make it. But I think you can work through things like if you get home first and both of y'all work, you bring something, or you cook.
Yeah, like a potluck.
I mean, if both of you
Like
working, you can't say I want my food. I mean, she worked just like you, so. A little issue like that you got to work on, young man.
No, you're not talking to me. My setup is great.